Hello everyone, Jai Hind and welcome to the platform of StudyIQ IAS in English. My name is Bhavar Singh Surya. I'm ex-India 115th course and qualified civil services, and I welcome you on the platform. Now this video it details about the recent test that was conducted. A hypersonic test was conducted in the Indian Ocean region. And ultimately before this, a NOTAM, that is Notice to AMN, was issued for more than 3,500 kilometers or 3,500 kilometers of the area in Bay of Bengal. So there was speculation that a hypersonic or Agni-VI missile could be the test could be conducted in these days. And ultimately over here, there was a mystery test that was conducted still. So far, DRDO has not confirmed that which missile had been tested when it comes to the recent test that had been concluded. But at the same time, a defense spokesperson, he have said, and he also have not dwelled into whether it is the Agni-VI that was tested. But at the same time, he has said that it may be the upgradation of the Agni-VI or the Agni-VI that was conducted in Bay of Bengal region. So ultimately, in early May 2026, we have conducted, or DRDO have conducted, significant flight test from the APJ Abdul Kalam Island. And when it comes to the speculated range, it is that when it comes to the Agni-VI, it will have the range that will be more than 10,000 of the kilometers, and ultimately that will mark our entry into the true ICBM club that is there. Till so far, only 4 of the nations, they possess the technology to produce the intercontinental ballistic missile. And after India will launch the ICBM, or there will be a formal announcement that we have successfully conducted the test launch of the Agni-VI. So this will be a very important, because then India will have the capability to strike any of the nation on the globe that is there. Also, when it comes to the high speculation, there is high speculation that MIRV, that is multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, they are the Agni-VI, it is capable of MIRV technique or the technology as well. When it comes to the statements from the defense leadership, they indicate a transition that we are seeing from a regional deterrence to the global strategic reach as well. And that is why this test is quite important. Now, when it comes to the Agni-series of the missiles, so these missiles or the complete series had been developed as a part of integrated guided missile development program that was that laid the foundation, and this program was spearheaded by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam himself. Now, we have different classes of the missile. We have Agni-I and II, which have ranges from 700 to 2000, and they are the short range and the medium range ballistic missiles. Now, they have a proper strategic role of being the regional and the tactical deterrent. When it comes to the Agni-III and Agni-IV, they have the strategic range of 3,500 to 4,000 of the kilometer, and they are the intermediate range ballistic missile, and they are very important for deep strike regional deterrent. Then we have Agni-V, which have a range of 5,000 to 5,500, and this is the regional ICBM that you can say. All right, so ultimately this is again very important missile that we have in our arsenal, and this is regional ICBM, and it counters the China strategic reach as well. Then Agni-VI, that is the mystery missile that had been test fired. It may have the range of more than 10,000. That is, the range could reach anywhere between 8,000 to 12,000, and it will be a full ICBM that will have a global reach, and ultimately it will be MIRV capable as well. So these are the complete arsenal of the Agni missile. You can take a screenshot and then you can revise it, because this is again important for your upcoming prelims as well. Now, when it comes to MIRV technique, so what it is, so ultimately when this technology is there, so it is a kind of force multiplier, because there is multiple independent targetable re-entry vehicles, which allows that only one missile, it delivers several of the warheads to the different targets. All right. It can also include the penetration aids to confuse the enemy ballistic missile defense system, and also it increases the probability of kill, that is PK, and ensures that deterrence is even against the advanced missile shields which are there. It requires highly advanced nuclear warhead design and even complex separation mechanisms that should be there for the MIRV technique. So there is MIRV technique, that is the multi-independent targetable re-entry vehicle. they deliver nearly about 10 to 12 of the warheads from a single missile to distinct targets simultaneously. Alright, also it has an asymmetric advantage whereby it overwhelms and exhausts the adversary missile defense shields as well. There is another technology, and that is MIRV. Alright, now what is MIRV? Basically, it is maneuverable re-entry vehicle. So MIRV is where we have multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle, but the MIRV is where the re-entry vehicle, it can maneuver itself. Alright, so over here the terminal phase trajectory, it shifts utilizing the radar absorbent coatings to confuse the interceptors, and this renders the advanced defense systems which are there like US THAAD and the Russian S-500, they are rendered less effective. And there is also the canisterization and the payload as well, where these missiles, they are basically stored in a movable canisters, and these canisters are hermetically sealed solid fuel mobile launch vehicles which are there, and it houses a massive 3-ton payload that is double that of the Agni-VI and ensures that there is rapid deployment capability when it comes to launching of Agni-VI as well. Now, Agni-VI is basically a hypersonic frontier where it comes to the traditional ballistic paths. The test may have involved the hypersonic glide vehicle as well, because this is important for the Agni-VI. Hypersonic glide vehicle is basically where the speed, it operates at the Mach 5 or even higher. Alright, it is unlike the ballistic missiles, the HGVs or the hypersonic glide vehicles, they can change the course in the flight itself. And also, they travel at the lower altitudes, making it nearly invisible to the defense radar system or the traditional early warning radars which are there. Also, they require the advanced scramjet engines and the heat-resistant materials because they are flying at a very hypersonic speed, and that is why it is very, very important that they have the complete coating that protects the missile and the warhead as well. Now, why India needs a global reach, or why India is moving ahead towards the Agni-VI? So when it comes to the speculation of the Agni-VI, so recently DRDO chief, he have said that India is ready with Agni-VI, and we will be able to test as the government will give the go on, or government will give the green signal. Also, the BJP have said that India had developed the capability of Agni-VI as well. Now, this will, when we will have the global reach or the ICBM, that will give the credible deterrence to India, and ultimately we will be able to counter the adversaries with the massive conventional as well as the nuclear superiority by ensuring the second strike capability. Also, it is a very important geopolitical weight because when it comes, we will enter the elite club, and ultimately when we enter the elite club, so this will enhance our claim towards the permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council, and this also provides a strategic autonomy to India where there is reduced dependence on the external security umbrellas, and we will be able to protect interest across the entire Indo-Pacific region and even beyond as well. Now, what could be the international response and impact of this test? When it comes to the regional dynamics, we will see that the China, it is likely to view this as a threat to their strategic depth that is there, and they may accelerate their ballistic missile development program as well. When it comes to Pakistan, this could trigger a renewed arms race in the South Asia, and this will move from the credible to full spectrum deterrence as well. When it comes to Indo-Pacific region, so it will solidify India's role as a net security provider in the complete Indo-Pacific region. When it comes to the global order, so we have not signed the NPT or the MTCR, so India's behavior, it will be seen as a responsible nuclear state, and we are non-proliferator despite being a non-signatory to the NPT or Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Also, when it comes to US and India partnership, so this will test the limits of the technology transfer as well as the strategic trust that is between India and US or within the ICET framework as well. Now, when it comes to ethics, so again, this is important for your GS paper 4 as well, because the India's nuclear weapons, they are for deterrence only, that we have already said, or we have the complete doctrine of the no first use that we follow. So ultimately, it is for the deterrence only, and India follows a policy of no first use. So the nuclear weapons, they will be used only in retaliation against a nuclear attack on the Indian territory or the forces. This is the credible minimum deterrence that we have, and we are maintaining the smallest possible force that is there, which is required to deter the adversary. And also, when it comes to the civilian control, there is proper civilian control through the nuclear command authority that we have in India, and that is how we are, or that is how this complete test, it has the complete implication. So it is the second test that India has conducted in the recent. There is Tara glide system that had been conducted, successfully conducted, and then this is the next test that we have conducted in India, and this will have a far-reaching impact when it comes to the geopolitical as well as the strategical and the defense implications that are concerned. So this is the path ahead and the key challenges as well. That is, we have to master the precision guidance for the MIRVs and the heat shields for the hypersonic re-entry. We also have to balance the defense spending with the social welfare and infrastructure needs, which are important for a developing country. And also, when it comes to the dependency on the real-time satellite data for target acquisition and mid-course corrections, so there has to be intelligence and space which had to be integrated. So this is the complete progress that we have seen recently. When it comes to solid fuel propulsion, we have 95% of the capability. At the same time, when it comes to the MIRV integration, so the progress is at about 70%, and even hypersonic glide tech, now we have, at least 45% of the capability when it comes to the HGV or hypersonic glide vehicle as well. Now, these are the strategic, vision or the way forward that we can have. The first one is to strengthen the triad. All right, we have to close the gap between the sea-based deterrence through the faster integration of the SLBMs or the submarines through which, submarine-based, we have the ballistic missiles. And even the submarines which are there, which are capable of launching the ballistic missiles. Also, we have to move towards the indigenization, where we have to reduce the dependence on the foreign components, that is sensors and the chips, through the Atmanirbhar Bharat or Atmanirbhar defense projects. As well as there have to be a diplomatic engagement where we have to ensure the global powers that ultimately the India's growth is stabilizing rather than any kind of disruptive in the global order. And when it comes to the space as well as the defense, so there had to be greater integration with the ISRO, with the dual-use technologies in surveillance and communication as well. So the latest strategic test which India has conducted, whether it is of Tara or the latest the satellite, the missile test that had been conducted. So these tests are not just technical milestones that we have achieved in India, but they are basically a statement of sovereign intent for a civilization state. The deterrence is the precursor to the peace. All right, so that would be all. But if you have any question related to this, you can leave down it in the comment section below. And that will be all. But before going ahead and ending the session, let me tell you that I will be starting off with public administration batch from 15th of May that you can join using the code BRS Live. And even if you are preparing for the UPSC 2027 or 2028, so we have the courses for the GS Foundation in which you can enroll. And this course is Resolution P2I badge, and you can enroll again using the same code, that is BRS Live, for the maximum discount. So that would be all in this video. I hope that you have now a complete understanding about Agni-VI as well as India's capability of developing the supreme missiles or the supreme tech indigenously as well. So that would be all. But again, this will be a complete milestone that we would have achieved. And just we are now waiting for the confirmation from the government of India and even from the DRDO itself. All right, so that would be all. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. Jai Hind. And do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel so that you do not miss any of the updates. Thank you and Jai Hind.